Now Buffalo confuses the San Diego offensive line by running the stunt with Schobel coming down inside, and Kelvin Garman, he reacts way too late. And the speed of Schobel allows him to get in deep and picks up the sack on Drew Brees.
Bills take over. Slipping is Henry. He got back up. Henry loses the football at the end of the play, and it's scooped up by McNeil. The second effort by Henry. And the Chargers have the football off the fumble.
One of the reasons why the game was so tight in the first half, because there were no turnovers. Henry, he slips, he gets back up because he's not touched, so he's live. Now you have to protect the football. You see Harrison comes in from behind, strips the football. Ryan McNeil picks it up. Travis Henry had some problems fumbling the football in the earlier part of the season. Thought he had taken care of it. And that time became a little bit too relaxed as he broke through to the second level. Didn't protect the football from the pursuit coming in from behind.
Sixth lost fumble for Henry. That's been an issue. Harrison, the second time he's forced one. McNeil, fourth fumble recovery on the season. And it could turn out to be a huge turnover. Brees on a handoff. Tomlinson puts the helmet down. Ryan Denny met him head on. A gain of 1.
You know, in the first half, we saw San Diego take some shots deep in the passing game. That's what loosened up this Bills defense and really, I thought, created some running room for Tomlinson. Now they come back out, and you can see Buffalo's gone back to what they did in the early part of the game, and that's crowding the line of scrimmage, focusing in on LaDainian Tomlinson. I think right now Drew Brees has to go deep on this secondary and try to force this defense to back off the line a little bit.
2nd and 9 for the Chargers. 8:35 remaining in the third quarter. Buffalo with a 3-point advantage. McCrary, the motion man, fake the handoff to Tomlinson. Brees throwing, sideline toss, and Alexander with a diving attempt, incomplete.
Well, he had Alexander that time working against London Fletcher. And Brees just overthrew him. This ball sails on him a little bit, and you can see it overthrows Alexander, was wide open on the play.
You wonder how much the wind is affecting Drew Brees. Sometimes it could just be mental. And Brees refuses to wear gloves. Does not like how the football comes off his hand.
Yeah, and sometimes you can lose that field of touch on the football, and that's what he prides himself on, is having great touch and great accuracy in throwing the football.
Chargers use a timeout with 8:25 to go in the third. Buffalo leading San Diego 13-10.
This is a night for America!
Grab that to 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. Miramax Films Gangs of New York, in theaters nationwide Friday, December 20th. And by Chrysler, drive equals love.
They got the heaters going on the sideline here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Buffalo leads at 13-10. Frigid conditions on a December Sunday in western New York. This is a 3rd and 9 after the timeout. Avoiding the rush. Brees throwing. Low throw. Was it trapped by Dwight? No! Caught by Dwight. And a first down for San Diego at the 29.
And this is just a great adjustment to the throw by Brees. Tim Dwight comes back to the football because it's not a well-thrown ball. It's thrown on the outside and thrown short. And he comes back to the football, is able to get his arms underneath and make the catch.
New set of downs for the Chargers, trying to find an opening. And Tomlinson creates one himself with his speed, accelerating through the hole for a gain of 6.
So what you're seeing right now from the San Diego Chargers is good balance and good mixture of plays, run and pass, and that's why they're able to move the football. They're hitting the pass plays in the secondary, and then that's creating more running room up front for LaDainian Tomlinson. Now, right now, the Bills aren't giving up the big plays. They're forcing San Diego to continue to snap the football in order to move it up the football field.
7:20 remaining in the third, a 2nd and 4 for the Chargers. Tomlinson stood up at the line of scrimmage as Brees was selling that potential play action. Justin Bannon hit him, and a gain of 1.
Yeah, Bannon He stops Tomlinson from trying to cut back on this play. And he'll press the hole. And then when he tries to slam it back to the right side, you see Bannon jumps into the gap. And that's what we talk about, gap integrity, gap control. Every defensive player getting their helmet in the hole and then being able to make the tackle.
Rashae Caldwell checks in as a third receiver. London Fletcher, an overachiever as Greg Williams called it, but a leader of this defense. Breeze, incomplete. Alexander had an opportunity in a matchup with a linebacker, Eddie Robinson. There was a little bit of separation.
And this ball appeared to be well thrown by Breeze. Going over to Alexander, and watch Eddie Robinson in coverage. See, that goes right off the hands of Alexander.
It is 4th down, and they have a choice to make, a 40 or 41-yard field goal, or do you go for it because of the wind? And they're going to go for it. 4 receivers set. Eric Parker is checked in for the Chargers. How about this decision?
Well, Christie's already missed one going into this end of the end zone. So I think you have to try, particularly if the kicker says, Coach, I don't think I can make it.
Shotgun. Breeze on a quick throw. Broken up. Curtis Conway, the intended receiver, and Antoine Winfield makes the defensive play for Buffalo. San Diego gives it up on downs here in the 3rd.
I can't sleep, Mom. There are monsters in my car.
AOL keyword NFL.com.
A special holiday treat, the NFL on Saturday. Ricky Williams drives Miami into Minnesota as the Dolphins fight for first in the AFC East next Saturday on CBS.
In the NFL, it's all about winning your matchups. Here's Curtis Conway, the Chargers' best receiver, matched up against Antoine Winfield, the Bills' best defensive back. Winfield wins the play, comes in, knocks it down, and he won the matchup that time against Curtis Conway.
Well, Conway, we said, knows the little things, what he can get away with. Winfield, a little push there, he got away with it. And Bledsoe throws on 1st down to Peerless Price. And for Buffalo, maybe the guy that is most relieved is Travis Henry after coughing up the football and then not having it cost the Bills any points off the turnover.
Right now, Buffalo has the wind at their back, so you could expect them to maybe take some more shots before the end of the quarter. And that time they went to Price, who was working against Jammer. He's back in the game, but I told you he's less than 100% as he banged up his knee earlier in the ballgame.
1st down for Buffalo as Bledsoe hooks up with Peerless Price. Now trying to set things up with Philip Crosby, the fullback, on the outside. Bledsoe, timing pattern. Moulds cannot catch it. And a penalty marker. McNeil ruling incomplete according to him. Molden has gotten caught a couple of times here today. McNeil has avoided it.
Now, there was contact between McNeil and Moulds as they were running up the field. But right now, they're going to talk about, okay, who initiated the contact? You know, Moulds is a KG veteran, very subtle, but he's a strong receiver and has the ability to just give you a slight nudge to knock you off balance.
No foul on the play. The contact did not materially affect the receiver.
And they will rule it incomplete. Greg Williams slamming down the headset.
And what they're talking about is the contact between both players. And there was a push, but the push was by Moulds. Moulds initiated the contact to try to get separation.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bills from their own 34. 5:40 left to go in the 3rd. In a 3-point game, double tight end set, Riemersma and Moore. Bledsoe will throw on a quick throw to Moulds, and this time he hauls it in. They're fighting for the loose ball, and now it's ruled incomplete.
Pass was ruled incomplete. The receiver did not keep the ball when he came to the ground.
McNeil and Lyle, the 2 Charger defenders in the area.
Well, actually, McNeil comes in, and he will knock the ball down. This ball is caught for just a split second by Moulds. And see him get the ball in, see him raking and just clawing, and see the ball comes out. He's not able to hold on to it.
Injury for San Diego, Junior Seau, the linebacker, being helped up. 11 consecutive Pro Bowls. Seau is able to walk off the field on his own. And Greg Williams wants to challenge this play.
Buffalo is challenging a ruling on the field of an incomplete pass.
And I don't know if you're going to have enough evidence to say that he held on to this football. And what you're actually seeing is, I think, one of the best receivers in all of the National Football League working against an experienced top cornerback in Ryan McNeil. See, the ball's caught. Now he's clawing away, and that's what you do. You fight for the ball. Now, after he makes contact, see, you can't see if he held on to the football once he hits the ground. See, you have to be able to maintain possession after you make contact with the ground. And I'm not sure if we can see that long enough. See, you can't see the ball comes out once he makes contact, and he has to maintain control of the ball after making contact with the ground, and this is an incompletion.
Just as he came down, the ball popped loose. And at that point, McNeil looked around to see whether or not there was a loose football that he could jump on. That's when Lyle came into the mix as well. And a judgment call upcoming for Jerry Austin.
And that's why they tell defensive backs, you continue to claw at the football because you never know if you'll be able to get the ball out. I think McNeil was able to do so. Now, once he hits the ground, the rule states that he has to maintain control once he makes contact with the ground. You can see that ball is on the ground. After he hits it, the ball comes out.
If they change this call, it's a Buffalo first down and no timeout taken away from the Bills. San Diego has already used a timeout here in the second half. Bills still have all three remaining. Jerry Austin getting a couple of looks at it off the coach's challenge from Greg Williams. It's either a 3rd and 10 for Buffalo or a first down with this drive continuing. Austin has seen enough.
For reviewing the play, the player secures the ball as he comes down and hits the ground. The ball comes out. That is an incomplete pass. Buffalo is charged with a first timeout.
Well, these Bills fans got excited for a moment when they heard Jerry Austin say he secured the ball, and then when he continued with the explanation, obviously their reaction was different.
Well, we told you he had the ball for a split second. You can see he has the ball now, but once he hits the ground, see, that ball comes out. And you have to maintain control of the ball once you make contact with the ground. And we can see it right here. See right there. Okay, see the ball is out and on the ground. So Eric Mose did not maintain possession once he made contact with the ground.
Well, we showed you Junior Seau slow to get up. Seau is back onto the field. And that has cost Buffalo a timeout. Each team with 2 remaining.
But what a battle on the outside between Eric Mose and Ryan McNeil. They're just going at it.
It's a 3rd and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 34-yard line. Price goes in motion for Buffalo out of the shotgun. Bledsoe. Bledsoe steps up. Protection is there. Bledsoe throwing. Incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reed, the rookie out of LSU, but Ryan McNeil with a stick. He gave Reed something to think about, and Buffalo was forced to punt.
Yeah, Reed was anticipating the hit. That ball hit him right in the numbers. I thought he should have held on to it. Bledsoe actually makes a fine throw on the run, but you could see the ball hitting. But boy, what a play by McNeil. He actually gets a hand in there, is able to knock the ball down.
Brian Moorman punting with the wind at his back. Tim Dwight standing at his own 27-yard line awaiting the kick. Moorman, a booming punt. Dwight, Willie Mays type catch over the shoulder. Now trying to create. Dwight on the sideline breaks a tackle. And Dwight tippy toes out of bounds at around the 25-yard line. 56-yard punt, a 15-yard return. San Diego still trails by 3.
The Diamond Store.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by IBM, taking business to the next level with e-business on demand. And by Zales, the Diamond Store.
Buffalo with a 13-10 lead on San Diego. Another look at Tim Dwight's return.
Well, watch how the wind carries this punt, but look at the catch by Tim Dwight. That takes talent. That's not easy to do. But he's a guy they have to put back and have him return punts. He had given up those duties when he became a starter, but he's such a big threat. And in a game like this, a big game, you need his ability on punt and kick return.
Chargers release Mark Vanover, which opened the spot back up for Dwight to return to his duties. Handoff, Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson, sometimes you feel like he's going in slow motion, but he'll churn it out for a 7-yard gain. Let's head to New York. NFL Today update. Jim Nantz.
All right, Ian, and a little milestone right here. Marvin Harrison's 6th catch of the day, number 124 on the season. That's an all-time NFL single-season record, breaking Herman Moore's mark of 1995. Let's go back to you.
And the amazing part about it, look at the reaction from Harrison. He's not jumping up and down. He's not giving you a look-at-me attitude.
He's been there before. You know, he's a consummate pro.
On 2nd down. Tomlinson, can he bust it to the outside? No. Buffalo ready defensively with London Fletcher leading the charge for the Bills. He got some help from Clements.
And we told you that would be a matchup today. London Fletcher trying to track down the speed of LaDainian Tomlinson. And Fletcher, he's a fast guy himself. You know, I first met him at the Super Bowl in Atlanta when he was with the Rams, and doing an interview with Fletcher. He says, "You're Solomon Wilcots?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Hey, you're a short guy." And I said, "But London, I'm taller than you are."
He doesn't see himself that way.
He doesn't see himself as a small guy. He called me small, and I'm looking down on him.
A 3 tight end set as Tomlinson has cracked 100 yards. 101 on the day. Tomlinson on 3rd and 1, driven back. Pat Williams, the massive force that is Pat Williams, pushing Tomlinson backwards. And they did not get enough.
This defense is crowding the line of scrimmage. They're getting a man in every hole. Just no running room up front. You see right there in the box. And that's 6 players right at the point of attack. And look at the push by Pat Williams, 93. And then they commit the linebackers and safeties. By the time it's all said and done, they have 9 players at the line of the scrimmage trying to attack LaDainian Tomlinson.
Darren Bennett. Not one of his better efforts as it takes a bounce. And rolls out of bounds. 31-yard punt. 3:04 left to go in the 3rd.
Honey, they got any cum class? I love cum.
Amazing Race, CBS Wednesday.
Thursday on CBS, it's the Survivor season finale. 4 castaways, 3 tribal councils, 2 intense hours, and 1 ultimate survivor. Who will convince the people they kicked off to give them $1 million? The Survivor season finale, Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. That's Jason Bostic, the backup cornerback, helped up onto the cart in his 2nd season out of Georgia Tech, former Philadelphia Eagle. They were working on that right knee. And Bostic being helped off.
Bostic, his loss is going to affect how they rotate things in their secondary as they look to match up against the receivers for San Diego.
3:04 mark of the 3rd quarter. Bostic, a special teams performer. And he'll see some action on 3rd down as well. But not the rest of today. Bills 13, Chargers 10. And a 1st and 10 for Buffalo at their own 36. Henry releases out of the backfield. Bledsoe throws on 1st down. Fires to Price, incomplete. Drew Bledsoe. These are incredible numbers. 7 of 23, 79 yards for Bledsoe.
And it's just Donnie Edwards reading the eyes of Drew Bledsoe and breaking on the football. See him getting there in time to prevent Peerless Price from making the reception. So you just have really good defense. We told you how Ryan McNeil's doing such an excellent job on the outside against Eric Mose, and now Donnie Edwards, who I think for a linebacker is a tremendous coverage in the passing game.
And San Diego comes in 31st in the NFL against the pass. Travis Henry And the running game has been effective for the Buffalo Bills. That's a 7-yard gain and a little bit of a skirmish after the fact involving Reuben Brown and Rodney Harrison, two guys that know one another from Pro Bowl appearances in Honolulu.
Yeah, and San Diego has to go back to adjust in terms of what they're doing offensively. You know that San Diego is committed to shutting down the passing game, offering more coverage in the secondary, so you have to pound it at the line of scrimmage and run the ball with Travis Henry. This offensive line, Greg Williams says, is the most improved area on his football team. Give them a chance to now try to create some room running and give the ball to Travis Henry.
Larry Centers has come in on a 3rd and 3, play clock down to 1. Bledsoe, pocket collapsing, throws incomplete. Reed in a matchup with Jammer, and Bledsoe pulls himself off the carpet and then helps out Marcus Price.
Well, it was Ray Lee Johnson and Junior Seau coming in from the backside, and see Seau getting right up the middle, putting pressure in his face. You see him going down low. And when Bledsoe can't step up in the pocket, that's why he has the numbers that he has today. He can't step up and complete passes. I think San Diego's done a good job of mixing in those blitzes and still being able to take away the deep passes.
Brian Moorman punting to Tim Dwight, who made a great individual play to catch the last ball over his shoulder. The wind carried the football. Moorman inside the 30, and it takes a roll out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 32-yard punt coming up tonight. 60 minutes. Whether Iraq does or doesn't have weapons of mass destruction, one thing they do have are oil wells. Is that what it's all about tonight on 60 Minutes? Then 60 minutes of comedy, Becker and Yestier, followed by the CBS Sunday movie The Man Who Saved Christmas, and a very regal Jason Alexander. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network. 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter here at Ralph Wilson Stadium. Bills 13, Chargers 10. San Diego looking to go to 9-5, trying to regain a guaranteed spot in the postseason. Dump off Tomlinson. He gets dumped out on the sideline by Clements, who's had a couple of hard hits this afternoon. Tomlinson able to get right up.
Did we not tell you that Clements would hit you? He's a cornerback. See Fletcher, he's the setup man, and there's Clements coming in to clean up.
And a 4-yard gain on the pass. Clock is moving, 1:40 and counting left in the 3rd. Now remember, for San Diego, they will get the win at their back in the 4th quarter. So if a field goal becomes part of the issue late in the game, Christie may have an advantage. Breeze throwing wide open. Steven Alexander. He holds on to the football, and he's spun down at the 40-yard line of the Bills.
And what you have to see is the move that Steven Alexander put on Nate Clements. Clements cannot be happy. You got to be able to cover a tight end, and he fakes the out and up move. He stems inside, and that's why he's wide open over the middle of the field. And Clements just bit on the fake by Alexander. And nice throw also by Drew Brees.
31-yard completion. That's the longest of the season for Alexander. And it sets up the Chargers nicely. Waning moments of this 3rd quarter, under a minute left. Pitch on a flip back. Brees loses it. Oh, they got too cute. And it cost them. Tomlinson, Dwight, and Brees, the troika involved. And they will lose 16 yards on the play.
This play fooled absolutely no one. And I think Tim Dwight's got to do a better job. Don't pitch this ball back because there's too many blue jerseys back there. Newman's back there, so is Pat Williams, and Schobel, C94. He's waiting for the reverse, and at this point, don't even try to pitch it. You just bail out and try to get going up the field and protect the football.
San Diego now faces a 2nd and 26. Handoff, Tomlinson busting through across midfield, a block from Fanotti, the rookie out of Nebraska. And Tomlinson gains 9 yards, the final play of the 3rd quarter. Now San Diego appeared to be in business on this drive, but a big loss on the play. We'll come back after this word from your local station.
At the end of the 3rd quarter.
Nothing says Christmas like a heartwarming Becker.
Reindeer, elves, fakes.
Now playing at bmwfilms.com.
NFL Sunday Ticket brought to you in part by Expedia.com.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Buffalo. The Bills lead the Chargers 13-10. Ian Eagle, Solomon Wilcox with you. Week 15 in the NFL. Last three meetings between these two teams have been decided by 3 points or less, and that is the road that they are traveling on once again. 3rd and 17. Breeze steps up. Pump fake. Looking low. Sideline throw. Incomplete. Eric Parker, the rookie out of Tennessee. And San Diego will punt it.
We said that San Diego would take some shots deep once they have the wind at their back. And Coy Wire, the safety, comes over and he just puts too much air on him. He's got to hit him in the hole in front of the safety. And I think they would have had a better chance of completing that pass.
Darren Bennett will punt with Charlie Rogers standing at his own 10. Bennett trying to angle one inside the 10-yard line. It's going to take a roll, and this one will come out to the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, but a net of only 27, and San Diego still in a 3-point hole.
Dale, thanks for being designated driver.
CBS Monday.
Let's take you back 22 years ago, 1980, dramatic fashion, San Diego AFC Divisional Playoff rallies. Dan Fouts connects with Ron Smith, a 50-yard score. Chargers win the game 20-14, the final. Back in January of '81. A little bit of history between these two teams, despite the fact that so many miles separate the two cities. We are early on in the fourth quarter. Buffalo leads by 3. Here's a toss. Henry anticipating the hit and able to slide forward for a gain of 5.
Yeah, if you're Buffalo, you have to protect the football. Travis Henry already one fumble here in the ball game, but he has to protect the football, and they have to be able to run it. And I still think before it's all said and done, you know that Drew Bledsoe is going to connect with one of these receivers. They have too many weapons on the offensive side of the ball. They just pose, I think, a constant threat to the San Diego Chargers defense.
Well, the leaders, Bledsoe, only 79 yards on 7 of 24 throwing it. Henry has matched that yardage total on the ground, and Moulds with most of the damage at the wide receiver position. Henry trying to get back up, and that second effort isn't going to work because Junior Seau blew up the play. Loss of 3.
He comes in and just submarines Marcus Sullivan, the right guard. He comes right in underneath, has a good nose for the football, and look at him get his hat in the hole and trips up Travis Henry, and that's just a superstar play by an all-pro linebacker.
Well, Bledsoe told us the thing about Seau, it looks like when you watch film that sometimes he's just guessing out there, but there are educated guesses.
That's right, from great film study, and I think he has great instincts as well to understand where the play is going, and he gets there ahead of time.
A 4-receiver set on a 3rd and 8. Bledsoe, shotgun formation, steps up, and nobody there. Drew Bledsoe just having one of those uncharacteristic off days throwing the football. Josh Reed, the intended receiver, and Buffalo will punt it with 13-13 to go in the 4th.
You know, and Drew told us, he said, you know, in this offense, we have to have our receivers and quarterback read the coverage the same way. Every week, he'll meet with his wide receivers for an hour on Friday at the end of the week, and they'll go over the film and say, okay, here's what I'm seeing, and here's what the receiver's seeing. That time I thought the rookie wide receiver Josh Reed did not see the same thing that Drew Bledsoe saw on that play.
Morin in the punt. This time he's punting into the wind and out of bounds. San Diego's going to have outstanding field position just short of midfield. 13-10. Buffalo clinging to a 3-point advantage.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Acura and the 260 horsepower TL Type S. The new Remington Microscreen TCT. What a great shave feels like. And by Olympus Digital Cameras. Nothing's out of the question. Nothing's holding you back. Nothing's impossible. Olympus.
Well, the snow has not developed here in Buffalo, but there's always a chance of it. The wind has been whipping Fred Flintstone apparently enjoying this one. And the Bills with a 13-10 lead over the Chargers. 13:06 to go in the fourth. Chargers first and 10 from the 48. Tomlinson slips through one tackle, loses a shoe, and is brought down in that second wave by London Fletcher. It's a loss of 1 on the play.
Well, it's all about the speed of London Fletcher. He has given this defensive football team some leadership as well as his overall talent. He shoots through the gap, and that's why he was able to make that ball bounce. Tomlinson couldn't get to the outside.
So Fletcher, the playmaker. Tomlinson cut out of his sneaker. And it's a 2nd and 11. Breeze fake the handoff. Steps up. Floats one. Incomplete. Tim Dwight tried to bring it in on the side of his body. And now it's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Chargers.
And both teams are doing a good job of pressuring the quarterback, forcing them to throw the ball before they're ready. Breeze could not deliver this one accurately because of the pressure in his face. So now they're facing a huge 3rd down here if they're going to try to get back into tying up this football game or even possibly taking the lead.
And you're just waiting for this San Diego offense with Tomlinson on the sideline to start taking advantage of some breaks. They have the wind. They have tremendous field position. And now they have to deal with the crowd on a 3rd and 11. Breeze out of the gun. Throw incomplete. Dwight, the intended target, matched up with Antoine Winfield.
And the ball was thrown behind Dwight, which allowed Winfield to make a play on the ball. You have to lead the receiver over the middle of the field. And watch, this ball is going to be thrown slightly behind Dwight, and that's why he can't grab hold of it. Makes an easy play for Winfield.
Another punt coming for Darren Bennett. Bennett, a high one, booming punt. Rodgers will let it bounce. Is this one going to hang around? It does! Did that hit the official?
It sure did. He made a play on the ball, and the San Diego Chargers are saying thank you.
David Binn, the snapper, helped touch it up. Bills want this to be a touchback as it looked like momentum was going to carry it.
And you have to ask, was the official standing in the end zone when he touched it?
The ball hit the official while he's standing on the goal line. That's a touchback.
Yeah.
First and 10 on the 20.
Jim Howie, the back judge, just got into the mix.
And he's off the hook, because if he's standing on the 1-yard line, that ball's going to be there. I doubt if he'll make it out of this stadium in one piece. But see, he's standing in the end zone, and then he touches the ball. And so that's why it's going to be ruled a touchback.
He's got 1 foot in. He's breaking the plane. And San Diego thought they caught a huge break. But instead, Buffalo is going to get it at the 20. Bills 13, Chargers 10. 12:01 to go in the 4th quarter in what has turned out to be a defensive struggle. In a game where we expected some explosiveness offensively. Marty Schottenheimer wants the explanation. He's been given one. Nods in agreement. And we will resume play here in the 4th.
Buffalo has to put together a drive because they have an opportunity at this point in the ball game to really put it away. And you score a touchdown right now, you're going to put a tremendous amount of pressure on San Diego to have to throw the football in order to come back.
On a 1st and 10. Bledsoe wants to throw. Slings it. Complete. Peerless Price. Alex Molden with coverage, not quite to the marker, depending upon where they give him forward progress to. And just a little bit short of the 30-yard line.
And as much as Drew Bledsoe in the passing game has struggled here today, they still have an opportunity to come out with a win and put the game away on this drive. And they're going to have to consume some time, but yet they're going to have to move the ball. They're going into the win, so they may not be able to go deep, but just be very methodical in your play call.
2nd and a foot. Henry. He's got the hole. And Henry is out to the 44-yard line. give him a 15, 16-yard gain. Reuben Brown on that left side with a block.
That's right. He's able to seal that hole with Donnie Edwards coming up in the middle, and they're able to break it off tackle with Travis Henry. So it's the play they need. Let's watch. This is Donnie Edwards. Donnie Edwards trying to cut underneath, and that's Reuben Brown getting the block, and that's what springs Travis Henry.
And the clock is moving. Under 11 minutes to go in the fourth, and it gives Buffalo a little bit of breathing room on this drive. To the sideline, Riemersma hauls it in, and it's a 2-yard gain on first down for Buffalo. Now Drew Bledsoe last week going into New England, 32 of 51 throwing the football, 328 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, but he also had 4 picks.
He threw 4 picks. When he gets outside of the pocket and have to throw on the run, that's when he struggles the most. Bill Belichick has the formula for shutting down Drew Bledsoe. Some of the same things you're seeing here today by the San Diego Chargers, getting the pressure in the face of Drew Bledsoe.
He has not turned it over here as Bledsoe comes to the line of scrimmage. Deep drop. Bledsoe throws it. Incomplete. Mold spun down by Harrison as he left his feet. And it's going to be third down upcoming.
Well, you see, here's the pressure. Ray Lee Johnson coming in. So is Carson. And see, they get a hand on it. And then there's Harrison there to break it up to prevent Moles from making the reception.
Now, secondary for both teams have done the job.
Really tight coverage, and it's not easy to do when you talk about all the weapons that Buffalo have on offense, but they have good cover corners. Ryan McNeil having a big game, and so is Junior Seau.
Bledsoe's completion rate is 32%. Here comes the heat in the pocket. Bledsoe uncorks a long one. Flag down! Harrison in a matchup with Moles.
Well, I tell you, Eric Moles is very crafty. He understands how to get contact, and all he does, he knows this ball is going to be overthrown. He'll slow down.
37 defense.
See, he slows down, he gets the little push, and that's why Harrison puts a hand up. He says, hey, he pushed me first, but once you grab the receiver, they're going to call you, and that's what Eric Moles is so good at. He knows how to create contact with the defensive back, and he knows that when the flag is going to be thrown, it's thrown on the defense.
A 28-yard penalty. 7 penalties against San Diego has cost them 111 yards, and the penalty's a major problem recently for the Chargers.
Ball start, 73 offense, 5 yards. We're still first down.
Marcus Price filling in for the injured Jonas Jennings for Buffalo on that left tackle spot. Jennings out with a leg ankle injury.
He's way early. Trying to stop Ray Lee Johnson. You see him jumping outside, so you know it had to be a pass play as he was setting up in that pass protection position.
So just when you think the Bills are beginning to build something, they get pushed back by 5 yards. 9:48 to go in the fourth.
And this is where the San Diego Chargers defense, they're going to have to make a play. Get some pressure on the quarterback, force the early throw, then jump the route, try to come away with an interception.
From the 29, Bledsoe steps up, lobs one high, timing pattern, and it's caught by centers. No, incomplete. Ben Lieber, the linebacker, had coverage on the fullback.
It was good coverage that time by Lieber, and this is the kind of catch that Larry Centers will usually make. See, he's trying to stay in bounds, but this ball just slips right through, and as he's hanging on, Lieber's able to get a hand in and knock the ball loose.
Lieber heads to the sideline. Now it's a 2nd and 15 for Buffalo. And shotgun for Drew Bledsoe. Bledsoe mishandles it. And he's fortunate that Riemersma was there. Riemersma was able to jump on it and make the play as Bledsoe couldn't handle the shotgun snap.
You have to wonder if it was an early snap. No, it wasn't. Drew just didn't catch the football. He was ready, then he couldn't make the recovery. Jay Riemersma, he comes up with it and saves the day.
And the problem right now, Solomon, is that Buffalo is moving out of field goal range because of that wind that we've talked about throughout the day.
Yeah, they're kicking into the wind, so they have to be able to Get the ball in, I'd say another 10 yards to create what should be an easy field goal. But at this point, it'd be far from easy.
Now at 3rd and 18, Flutie. Drew Brees told us he's the only guy in the NFL to go to 2 visiting cities and get cheers. Into Buffalo and into New England. And he's taking snaps on the sideline, getting warm.
Well, Marty told us, don't be surprised. He said he wouldn't hesitate to go to Doug Flutie in this game.
Shotgun, key play for the Bills offense. Bledsoe puts it up in the air and incomplete. Drew Bledsoe has been back on his heels throughout the day, and Ray Lee Johnson just cemented Bledsoe into the turf.
And that's the play they needed. We talked about getting pressure on the quarterback, on Drew Bledsoe, forcing the early throw. He's not ready to throw that ball, but he has to get rid of it before he'll take the sack. And that's the play the defense needed so that they can get the football back, so they can try to get back into this football game.
Buffalo would be looking at a 50-yard punt, and that's exactly why you see the punter 50-yard kick, and that's why you see the punter Brian Moorman. Tim Dwight standing at his own 10. Moorman steps up off the side of his foot, and it does take a Buffalo roll. Dwight catches it and then angles his way out of bounds.
Well, that looked like a shank that time by Moorman. You see Flutie is coming into the game.
Well, Marty Schottenheimer said that if he felt it was necessary to make a change to win the game, he would make the change.
For over 8 years, DirecTV has brought America the best in television entertainment.
Doug Flutie has been the author of so many dramatic storylines throughout his football career, and he has a chance to add another chapter and add to the legend as he comes back to Buffalo. He just got booed by these fans. Bit of a surprise on that reaction. He steps in for Brees. First pass of the season. Flutie knocked around, up in the air. Curtis Conway's got it! Oh, the magic of Flutie!
Wow. And you think the fans here in Buffalo aren't a bit nervous? Seeing Doug Flutie come into the game, Pearson Prelo, he's in position to free safety, getting underneath Curtis Conway. See, he gets a head around it. Look, he almost had the interception. Ball goes off his back. Conway stays with it. He's able to haul it in and get the completion. And now San Diego's threatening.
47 yards through the air. Brees is a spectator. And some activity on that right side.
False start, 84 offense, 5 yards. It's still first down.
Justin Peele called for it. Flutie started 30 of 39 games that he appeared in for Buffalo. Very popular here in this city from 1998 to 2000. He beat Buffalo last year, 27-24, but that one was out in San Diego.
Yeah, the fans here, they know all too well about the magic of Doug Flutie. But Marty Schottenheimer, he told us, he said it would only be for the moment. They need to save this season and win out in order to secure their playoff spot.
A 1st and 15 from the 46. Flutie fakes the handoff, steps up, throws it, and complete. Out to the sideline, Justin Peele, who was just called on the penalty. And Peele makes up for it. Brees trying to cheer on his backup.
You know, he's not big. He doesn't have a strong arm. All he is just good enough. Good enough to make plays at key moments in the ballgame. And this ball's thrown right on the money.
On the day after the Heisman Trophy was presented to Carson Palmer, Doug Flutie, a former Heisman Trophy winner himself, is getting another chance. And Marty Schottenheimer made it clear to us there will not be a quarterback controversy here. If we go to Flutie, it's for that game and that game only. Right now, Schottenheimer just wants to win this one on the road. Play clock winding down. 2nd and 5. Flutie, handoff. Tomlinson spun down. He picks up a yard as Keith Newman touches him up. And the clock continues to roll as we approach 6 minutes to go in the 4th.
And Schottenheimer had really prepared all season long for this. We did their opening game. They started off with a tremendous game in Cincinnati. And we talked about, you know, Drew Brees starting over a Doug Flutie, a more experienced quarterback. He said there's no other quarterback he'd rather have to come off the bench in a big game than Doug Flutie. And here it is. He has his moment.
Right now, they're looking at about a 52-yard field goal. They need more yardage than that on a 3rd and 4. They'd love to get a new set of downs to work with. Flutie wearing the glove. Slings one. Incomplete. Conway with Prelo, the safety. And the choice here.
Watch the play by Prelo. He gets that left hand in, knocks down the ball, and it would have been out of bounds anyway.
They are going to go with Steve Christie, another former Bill on this San Diego roster. 53-yard attempt for the tie. Christie leans into it, and he's got it. Flutie leads him down the field. Former Bills jubilant.
Excuse me.
Dr. Pepper, be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper, be you, do what.
Be sure to pick up Garth's album, Scarecrow, wherever great music is sold.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Hewlett-Packard, HP Digital Imaging. When it's this easy, why not? And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you, nothing's better. Dr. Pepper.
Is that a catch? Steve Christie with his longest field goal since 1999. Flutie puts on the parka, trying to stay warm, and he's hoping to get another crack at this Buffalo defense. This game is tied at 13. Return man Charlie Rogers, and he is down at the 20-yard line. Josh Norman the tackle on special teams. Steve Christie. Well, he knows about pressure field goals in this stadium. But now he's got the opponent's jersey on, and Flutie reacts after the magical completion to Curtis Conway helps set up that field goal.
He has the pixie dust to sprinkle onto this team and give them the motivation. It really has nothing to do with Drew Brees. He's brought this team back in a number of games to win. But you know what, in a moment like this with the season on the line, you go to a guy like Doug Flutie, who's well familiar with these surroundings, and he comes up and makes a big play.
Bledsoe is 9 of 30 throwing the football. He has 91 yards passing. And again for Henry. Oh, they're all over it. San Diego firing in with Ben Lieber. The linebackers read it, and it's a loss of 6 on the play.
Right now, I think Buffalo has to crank up the passing game. Bring in your 3 and 4 wide receiver sets, and I think you have to go after the least common denominator. You know that McNeil can make some plays on the outside, so can Alex Molden, and then Quentin Jammer. But that fourth cornerback, Jerry Wilson, is the guy that you have to isolate, maybe try to attack him with Josh Reed or even Larry Centers or Jay Remersma. But you have to try to make some big plays and keep throwing the ball. Even though you're throwing into the wind, you have to be able to make some plays.
Passing game has not worked today for Buffalo. And a handoff. Henry. Travis Henry fortunate to get anything out of that run as he picks up 5 just short of the original line of scrimmage, the 20. So it's going to be a 3rd and 11 for Buffalo.
Just a little draw play trying to create some running room. And we're watching break the tackle of Rodney Harrison. And we told you Travis Henry, he's a tough guy to get on the ground. Gives him the stiff arm, and Junior Seau comes in to clean it up.
Under 5 minutes to go in the 4th. 3rd and long for the Bills offense. 3 receiver look. Shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Dump off. Larry Centers stays on his feet, and he's going to come up well short of a first down. He picks up 4 yards. Junior Seau cut him down low.
Well, they had the perfect play call that time. The screen coming in away from the blitz where Junior Seau was coming from. Larry Centers just slips and falls down. Had he not slipped, he would have had enough room to pick up the first down.
A lot of pressure now on Brian Moorman with the wind acting up the way that it has. Tim Dwight, dangerous return man. And Dwight standing at his own 39-yard line awaiting the punt. Moorman, good punt. Sailing. Dwight, fair catch. Wanted to make sure he got it cleanly, which he did at the 29-yard line. And that's where San Diego will have it after the 47-yard boot by Moorman. Well, the San Diego defense has done its job. Can Doug Flutie lead this San Diego offense down the field and give the Chargers the lead. Last year, Flutie was effective against this Buffalo defense.
And this is the thing you have to be so aware of. He can make plays with his legs as well as with his arm. And then he set up that kick by Christie.
No, it was a block kick.
That's right.
And they held on for the win. 1st and 10 for San Diego. Flutie, play action. Flutie throwing to a spot, and Alexander couldn't get there. Aaron Schobel came in and applied that pressure on Doug Flutie, who popped off the turf.
And Schobel comes in, unloads on Flutie. Just because he can run around and he's elusive, you still have to apply pressure. Just as if you would if Breeze was in the game. You still come after the quarterback, forcing the early throw. Don't allow him to sit back in the pocket and make plays.
2 timeouts remaining, each of these teams. 3:33 left in the 4th in a tie game. 2nd and 10 for Flutie and the Chargers. 3 receiver set. Shotgun for Flutie. Steps up, guns, incomplete. No play as flags came down. So this play never happened, and Austin will give us the indication.
Prior to the snap, false start. 70 offense, 5 yards. It's still 2nd down.
So back it up to a 2nd and 15 for Marty Schottenheimer's offense. And Flutie in a deeper hole than the one he started with.
This is where I think you have to be careful if you're Buffalo on defense. You drop everyone and you're going to give a running lane to Doug Flutie, and he can take advantage of you, and he can make players miss on the 2nd level and really pick up some substantial yards by running the football.
Out of the gun, Flutie in for Drew Brees. Steps up. Flutie throws and dropped by Alexander. Steven Alexander, the tight end, unable to haul it in.
Good movement in the pocket by Flutie, who finds a lane, finds a way to get that ball to Alexander, who can't hold on to it. But that's what Flutie does so well. He moves around in the pocket. He's not tall enough to throw over the defensive line, so he looks for a throwing lane in between the linemen, and he's able to sneak that ball through, throwing sidearm to Alexander. Alexander has to hold on to that football at this point in the football game.
A 4-receiver set on a 3rd and 15. Dime package for Buffalo. Flutie forced to scramble. Flutie looking for an angle. Flutie still on his feet. He's going to fire it long. Flutie incomplete. Almost intercepted by Prelo, as Flutie bought himself extra time.
And that time the receivers just gave up on the play. They have to continue to fight to get open. And look, we told you he can make some plays running around. They can't catch him. Now someone has to be able to find an open area and get open. But giving the Bills all the credit in their secondary, that time they stayed alive and continued to fight and cover, and not giving Doug Flutie any options.
Flutie unable to get anything done on that set of downs. So Bennett will punt it to Rodgers. Returnable. Across the 35, and that's where Rodgers is stuck at the 36-yard line by Carlos Polk. 43-yard punt and a 3-yard return. And a little woofing going on after the play in a tie game. 13-13. 3:04 left to go in the 4th.
Defense have to come out and have another stop here. Try to create a turnover. Put the pressure on Bledsoe, force the errant throw, and make a play.
Want to welcome those of you who have been watching Oakland and Miami. Tight one here in Buffalo. 13-13, 3:04 to go. Drew Bledsoe has had an off day throwing the football for the Bills. Doug Flutie has come on for the Chargers, the former Bill. Handoff to Travis Henry, and he fights his way for an 8-yard gain on 1st down. Under 3 minutes to go. San Diego trying to improve to 9-5 and avoid a December collapse that they have grown so accustomed to. Meanwhile, the Bills' slim playoff hopes at 6-7. They're hoping to get to 500 and remain alive in the playoff chase.
The San Diego Chargers defense has done a good job in coverage on the second level, trying to shut down Eric Mose, Peerless Price. Haven't given up any of the big plays, a couple of pass interference calls, but so far they're doing a good job.
On a 2nd and 2. Give it to Henry again. Henry, stiff arm, breaks away. Travis Henry across midfield. And Henry has been the savior for this Buffalo offense today. An 8-yard burst. Ray Lee Johnson got the brunt of the stiff arm from Henry, the little guy.
Greg Williams said that Travis Henry is so good at the point of contact, already going over 100 yards rushing on the day, able to use the stiff arm to create more running room. He's built very low to the ground, has a very powerful lower body. That's what allows him to break those tackles and pick up the extra yards.
The wind has been a big story here this afternoon in Buffalo, and here in the 4th quarter the Bills are driving into the wind, so field goals are not a gimme where Buffalo is concerned. Bledsoe cannons one, and it's caught by Price. 11-yard gain and another Buffalo first down. And a penalty marker on the play.
2 minutes, 2-minute warning.
We have hit the 2-minute warning here in the 4th. 13-13. Chargers and Bills are deadlocked.
Didn't have to pay bills or going after that big promotion.
We've never done either of those.
All new King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Coming up, Subway postgame show. Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer have all the scores and highlights. That's coming up. Stay tuned for the Subway postgame show. Back here in Buffalo, the Bills are driving in a 13-13 game with 2 minutes to go in the 4th. 1st and 10 from the San Diego 37. Bledsoe, handoff, Travis Henry bursting through that first wave, and Henry gets across the 30-yard line with an 8-yard gain. He broke through the grasp of Seau, who had a chance to bring him down.
And how good is Travis Henry? He's able to make a tackler miss just about on every carry. That's how you judge the good ones. They're able to make players miss. You don't have to block everyone. Who'll take care of the rest.
Line of scrimmage is now the 29. Buffalo has not been able to throw the football with any consistency, but Henry has been the go-to guy on offense. 20 carries, 115 yards, and a touchdown. Bledsoe is thrown. Incomplete. Josh Reed, the intended target. Want to welcome those of you who have been watching Jacksonville and Cincinnati. 1:18 to go in the 4th quarter. San Diego and Buffalo all tied up at 13-13. Doug Flutie has been inserted into the game for San Diego. First time all season that he has played the quarterback position for the Chargers, replacing Drew Brees. But right now it's Drew Bledsoe and the Bills who have an opportunity. On a 3rd and 2, handoff. It's Henry. Spun down, and it should be enough for a first down.
And Junior Seau's not happy, but Henry powered through the line of scrimmage, lunging forward just enough to pick up the first down, and that's how good he is. Seau is responsible. He comes down, makes the tackle, but not until Henry picks up the first down.
Now Seau did not like the spot, and a new set of downs for the Buffalo Bills. Well, how did we get to here? Look at the game summary. Christie, the former Bill, 3-0 lead. San Diego field goal. Henry puts Buffalo in front with a 4-yard touchdown run. Bills add to the lead. Hollis from 42 yards away. It's 10-3. Tomlinson gets the Chargers back in it. 2-yard touchdown run. Hollis, though, puts Buffalo in front. Christie ties it 53 yards away after Flutie sets it up on a long pass to Curtis Conway, who's recovered from a shoulder injury, seeing his first action in 2.5 games. San Diego has used a timeout with 1:01 left to go in the 4th. Bledsoe has just cracked 100 yards throwing. Now, this is a guy that's been up and around 350 consistently throughout the year. Henry's had the big day on the ground for the Bills. And Moulds 5 catches, 61 yards for Buffalo. Right now, they're looking at about a 43-yard field goal into the wind. Bledsoe, handoff, Henry cuts it to the outside. Travis Henry down the sideline. He's in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Greg Williams told us the most improved area on this football team coming into this year has been the offensive line. And Travis Henry, he breaks it into the outside.
Extra point for Hollis for Buffalo. I want to welcome those of you who have been watching Baltimore and Houston. Travis Henry has just given the Buffalo Bills a 7-point advantage with 52 seconds left in the fourth quarter. A 7-play, 64-yard drive, 53 of them on the ground from Henry.
And they pull Ruben Brown from the backside, and Henry presses the hold, then bounces outside and just turbos up the sideline with that speed and takes it into the house for the touchdown. And watch Ruben Brown, 79, and Donnie Edwards, he's not able to get over the top. Neither are the safeties. It's just the speed of Travis Henry as he takes it to the outside and gets it into the end zone.
Second touchdown of the day for Henry. He fumbled the football in the third quarter, but it did not cost the Bills any points. What a year he is having. He has really blossomed in his second season out of Tennessee. Well, now it becomes Flutie time. Doug Flutie. They loved him here in Buffalo. Flutie Flakes, television programs, radio shows. Marty Schottenheimer, throughout the season, has decided to stick with Drew Brees at the quarterback spot. But today, finally, he decided that Flutie would get a chance because Brees was not moving this offense consistently this afternoon.
Yeah, he wanted to get a spark for his offensive football team. He did say if he were to bring in Flutie, that Brees would start the following week. So Brees hasn't lost his job. It's almost like going to the bullpen and looking for a spark for his football team.
Hollis, a low kick into the wind. They don't want to chance anything. And it's picked up by Fletcher. Fletcher can run. And Fletcher out to midfield. 18-yard return. And Charles Johnson brings him down on special teams. Another reminder, the Subway postgame show is coming up. Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer. All the scores and highlights coming up on the Subway postgame show. Doug Flutie. He has been full of miracles throughout his football career, high school, college, the pros, and right now he's looking at 50 yards for the equalizer. San Diego has only one timeout remaining, 44 seconds left. How fitting is this? Flutie back in Buffalo and a chance to lead his new team down the field. Steps up, Flutie throws, and dropped by Conway. Alexander has had some problems catching the football. Conway, Caldwell. You could spread the blame around.
Yeah, he's coming across the middle of the field. You see he just short arms it a little bit, trying to run before he makes the catch. You know you're going to get hit. Moment like this, you have to come down with that play, and Curtis Conway has been their ace receiver. At that time, didn't quite get it done.
40 seconds left here in the fourth. Such a crucial game for the San Diego Chargers, trying to remain in the playoff hunt and end a postseason drought of 7 years. Flutie steps up. Flutie trying to run, and he's caught by Schobel. 5-yard gain, and San Diego is forced to use a timeout with 29 seconds remaining. Drew Brees, this is not a spot that he has found himself in, watching another quarterback run this offense.
And Flutie has to get rid of the football. The one thing you can't do is take a sack, because with one timeout left, you're going to lose a lot of time, and you're forced to burn that final timeout. So as you're creeping toward the line of scrimmage, you have to either commit, throw the ball or run it, but you have to get rid of it. In that case, the last thing you do is take the sack.
And the speed of Schobel from behind, able to catch up to Doug Flutie. 29 seconds remain, and San Diego is now out of timeouts. They gave him a good spot, 6-yard gain, and it sets up a 3rd and 4 for Flutie and the Chargers.
Well, first thing you want to do is you want to pick up the first down, and then next thing is you have to take a shot at the end zone because they need the touchdown to tie this game. You have to allow Doug Flutie to take a shot at the end zone and try to get 6.
3rd and 4. Shotgun for Flutie. Flutie steps up, throws into a grab, and complete to Dwight. First down for San Diego. Time is ticking away, though. 17 seconds left. A 7-yard gain. Down to 14 seconds.
Than this.
Flutie spikes it with 11 seconds left. And Doug Flutie knows that time trickled away because they couldn't get the ball set at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that time the officials just didn't move expeditiously to get the ball set so that the offense could get set and down the football.
Normally in that scramble situation, the officials come over and put it down quickly so a team can spike it. We're talking about a 5 or 6 second difference.
They lost maybe 5 or 6 seconds. Let's watch. Okay, 24 seconds. Let's see, by the time they get the ball, you can see it was kicked. And so now they have to run all the way back over and try to get the ball set.
Only 11 seconds left. Flutie. Pressure is coming. Flutie scrambling. Flutie throwing it long. Incomplete. 2 seconds remain on the clock. And it will be a Hail Mary situation. Curtis Conway, the intended receiver for San Diego.
You see Conway, he's on the other side, and he's going to try to get back to the middle of the field. And now you have to go up for this football, try to make a play, and he never went up for it. Do you have to go up for the ball? Because if there's contact, then possibly you could draw a flag.
Well, the Browns made it happen last week. Flutie has done it a number of times in his football career. Does he have one more piece of magic left here in Buffalo? Final play. Flutie out of the gun. Flutie on the run. Throwing. End zone. Knocked around. Incomplete. Buffalo holds on. 20-13. The Bills hand the Chargers a damaging blow. Subway postgame is coming up. Oh, the script was right there for Flutie and the Chargers. It was not to be. Buffalo wins it over San Diego. Let's go to New York at Jim Nantz.
Welcome back to Pro Player Stadium in Miami. I'm Spencer Tillman alongside Tina Sabasio here.
Let's see what happens next week.
So I just giving you
what I liked most was that possession at the end of the game.
Thank you. Next
I'm not worried about it yet. Today, our defense came up big today.